Hey, what's up guys? I haven't done a gear update since quite a bit, and there were some, very little things that I adapted to make it work better for me as the active, aggressive airsoft sniper. So let me guide you through all of this, and I'm gonna go from top to bottom. So let's start by getting rid of this kind of stuff. First of all, my hat. Now this hat is handmade in Poland by a company called Gilly. Great product of really high quality, very expensive. I think the hat by itself is, and I don't even know, you can check out the webpage, but they are quite pricey. But what I like about it is that it's ventilated on top, so I have this mesh here which lets my head breathe and keeps me a little bit cooler. And then you can adjust how wide it is with this flexible cord right here. Attached to the head is the power bank in the back, just by some cable ties. Then the cable runs down here, right into the GoPro, which gives it, a nice balance because there's weight in the back, then there's the camera in front. GoPro is a Hero 5 Black Edition, and the way it's mounted into this head is just by this mounting plate right here. It's from the head strap, and I just screwed it onto the head, and that's pretty much it for this part. Going down to my safety devices, here I have the glasses from Sky Airsoft. I'm using those since I think 3 weeks, and they're alright. They don't fog too much, so fogging wise they are quite good. They give nice protection because they're completely closed, they're full seal, but you start sweating in them really bad because of the rubber, and if they get hit by a BB, you can see the mark in the glass, which, if it's right in front of your eye, you always have the dot in your side, which is very annoying, and that's why I exchanged to new glasses. And it is kind of a bummer to know that you have to exchange the glasses every time that it gets shot. It's a double layer glass, which means that they don't fog as fast because, thermodynamic wise, or however this is called, it just gives it a little bit more space to equalize the temperatures, and that's why it doesn't fog as fast. Now before, I always used the mask separately, but I found if I'm using big goggles like this one, it gives enough stability to attach a mask to it. So they have a TMZ mesh mask with, the paint job right here. And I attached it with wires, through the mask and then through the goggles, and that's how it holds together. So I can just put it on my face and I'm ready to go. The disadvantage obviously is I cannot eat without taking out my safety goggles, which I'm not allowed in the field. So for milsims, it really sucks. But for pickup games where I can just go into the safety area, it is very nice to have this one piece because there's less mess going on around your head. Going further down, here is my primary, the SSG-24, internally completely stock, great gun. I mean, you can see it in the videos. Shoots like a laser, never fails, no feeding issues. Now that those are fixed. And yeah, externally, I just changed the sling setup. So here I have the Blackhawk P90 sling attachment. Here with this random sling that lying around at home, and the front is just looped through the Picatinny rail, which makes the gun hang very naturally. The scope on top is a random scope I bought when I was in Taiwan. It was $50, nothing special here. Just took it because it looks cool. Has a 50mm diameter right here. I can adjust the magnification from 3 to 9 times, which I never use. I always run it at 3 times. I think that's a good setting. What I like about it is that I can adjust the scope without, using any tools or removing anything. You can just do it right away by turning those turrets. It's also illuminated, which I also never use. I think it's kind of pointless, but if I need it, I can use it. Here in the front, I have a power bank attached with cable ties to the scope, which is definitely not the cleanest solution, but that's how I run it right now with the run cam. Because I did some experiments with scope cams lately, and I really haven't found the solution yet. This camera is good and it's compact and it's convenient, but it doesn't give the same recording quality as the camcorder, so I'm still not sure what's the best one. But for now, I'm having the run cam on there. You can get it at brainexplodermerch.com. Has a 35mm lens inside, so you can see what's going on around the enemy. The zoom isn't too big, but the bigger the zoom is, the more the quality decreases usually. That's why I went with the 35mm lens right here. And here in front, I have the mount for the selfie camera, but that's pretty much it. Now, the BDU that I'm wearing is a new one. That's not the LBX anymore. It's made by UF Pro in Europe. It is really, really expensive. It's super fancy. It's like the fanciest stuff out there from what I know. At least the fanciest stuff that's made in Europe. The complete set of the BDU is, I think, $300 or something like this. I personally wouldn't buy it, not because it's not good, but because it's, you know, in the end it's just trousers and a top. I think it's too expensive for the average Airsoft player. But they sent it to me for free, and I do have to say it's the best BDU I ever used. But still, I mean, it's $300. It's just, fuck, that's a lot of money. What's nice about the BDU is that you have a million pockets all over the place. You have ventilation here on the lower arms. You have even stuff like this. You see that? I was always wondering what it is for, but I finally figured it out. It's for fighting, and then you can open this pocket without any problems. So there's sort of everything. It's, you know, engineered closing. It's every single detail. They sort of, it's just, yeah, basically the best stuff you can get. Inside the trousers, you have those knee pads, which are soft and they don't, you know, they don't annoy you, but they still give proper protection. You have ventilation right here. You know, you can open this to keep everything cool down there. And man, I could talk about those trousers for hours, but let's just move further on. The gloves that I'm using right now are the new ones from Enola Gay. I've used them for one game and they worked quite good. I mean, you still have a nice grip and they give the proper protection. Also, they have the ventilation here on top, you know, this breathing fabric right here. Before I was using the mechanics, but I feel like mechanics kind of decreased the quality standards. Maybe that's just me, but in the beginning when I used them, they always lasted for a very long time. But now I have to exchange them, I don't know, every month or so. Maybe that's me, that maybe I exchanged my playstyle to a more aggressive one. But for now, I'm searching for a new brand and it's maybe going to be this one. But again, I'm not sure about those since I just used them for one game. Moving further on to the gear. Now this is a mix of the old BEX PLC system. I don't recommend the new one anymore. The new one is complete shit. The quality control on this is just, it's not the quality control, it's just the manufacturing materials they're using. It just rips apart immediately, so don't get this anymore unless they improved it already. But I still have the top one from the old version, the top part, so the harness right here. And on the bottom, I'm using a Condor belt, which it's so-so. It's really not the best stuff, but the old one was completely broken, so that's why I had to exchange it. But I'm searching for a better alternative. If you know anything, type it in the comments. This one is, it's just a random battle belt, nothing special. Now attached to the harness, on the back, I have a small hydration pouch here on top. And, you know, I have the cord, the tube for the hydration system, which is a source hydration, by the way. I have it just looped through those loops right here. And there goes the drinking tube, which is always nice for milsims. Also for pickup games, I like to keep 1 liter of water in there for those cases where the safe zone is just too far away and you can just keep yourself hydrated. Here I have a Hitmarker by Elite Force. Yeah, not much to say about that. I like that it's compact. I like that it's always in the same place. And, you know, if you stuff it back in there, it's just very, very minimal. And you can lose it because it's sewed onto your gear more or less. Moving further on to my sidearm. I know I talked a lot about this pistol already, but real quick again. It's a Marui Glock, a little bit upgraded. I upgraded the hammer spring because it was light striking. Then I also had to exchange the hammer. And that's pretty much it, what I did internally. Externally, still completely stock. I do have this adapter block right here for the tracer unit, so I can see the BBs in dark areas like the tunnel system of the urban area. And since it's a Fireland holster, which I love, by the way, doesn't work anymore with this system, I can show you this real quick. It doesn't fit anymore. It's just, that's not working. So I have this double tap design holster here on the side. I can just click it on here. It's not as convenient as the Safariland. It's also not as sturdy. And if I try to rip it off, it's, you know, I can. It's just not as sturdy. It's a 3D print. It is a good design, but not as good as the Safariland. Before I had the drop leg holster. here, you know, a little bit lower, but this doesn't work anymore with the tracer unit, because if I would knee down, I would sting the tracer unit into the ground. The way this holster is used is a little bit different. You press this button right here and then you pull your pistol to the side, which is, you know, it's different. It's a little bit harder to find the location in a stress situation, but it does work. To show you real quick, while off the sidearm has the function for semi and full auto, so I can do this, which I love. Okay, the spare mags for the pistol are right here on my left side, because obviously I hold the gun right-handed. I can shoot right hand better than left hand, so that's why I have the mag pouches on the left, so I can do the reloads while still aiming at the target, and this makes just everything a little bit easier. The mag pouches I'm using are made by Centauran. It's a German company. They're expensive as fuck, but in my opinion, they are the better ones out there. I did try the ASGI taco pouches, but I don't like that they completely collapse and they kind of look like this then, and you can't find the way into the magazine. Those are always staying open, so you can find their way in there, and they have still enough retention that they don't fall out during running. And also like that they are deep enough, they don't stand out like this, that the BBs get dirty, they're completely covered in there, and that makes them, in my opinion, the perfect pistol pouch. Here in the back I have two closed ones, which I sometimes use for speed loaders, for very long games where I know the pistol mags are not going to be enough. And here I always have one speed loader for my sniper, even though I'm wearing 3 sniper mags, 1 in the gun, so 4 in total. That's one magazine holds 25 BBs, so that's 100 BBs. But still, you sometimes have those situations where there's a million enemies and then you run out of ammo and you just think, oh God, if I would have more ammo, I could kill even more people. So that's why I always bring one speed loader. I always fill it as high as possible with BBs so that it doesn't rattle anymore. I keep my SG24 mags inside the Icon pouches made by Fly Industries. They are great because they, you know, cover the magazine completely, so no dirt can get onto the BBs, which will decrease the accuracy of your sniper a lot. Always use closed mag pouches for your sniper rifle. What I don't like about them is if I open them, it makes the Velcro sound. So if I'm doing a reload, maybe people will hear it because of it. That's kind of annoying, but that's really it. They have the perfect size, they're very low profile, which is nice when you're crawling, that they don't disturb you in any way. So I have one here for the fast reloads in front, and if I have a little bit more time, I can reorganize with those 2 pouches here in the back. Anyways, you should never get into a speed reload sniper situation, because you can always see how many BBs you have left. The magazine, the transparency. So even if they're in the gun, you can always track your ammunition, and you should do the reloads before you run out of ammo. Here on the right side, I also have a 40mm grenade pouch, which is the same problem as this one. If I'm on the corner and I know there's an enemy and I want to throw the grenade and I open it like this, the guy will know, fuck, there's going to fly a grenade into my room. So that's a piece of equipment that I'm not happy with. I'm going to change it to another pouch. Just haven't found the right one yet. Inside, I have the XL Burst by Airsoft Innovations. That's currently my go-to grenade. It just, you know, it doesn't break. It feels of value. It's CNC aluminum. It's loud, which is nice for the videos, and you don't have the annoying BB filling that you have at the Tornado grenade, which you don't have to do, but then, you know, if you don't use the mechanism with the BB expelling, then why would you use a big grenade like the Tornado? Because it's a lot bigger. This one is small, compact, nice, and fits perfectly into those 40mm grenade pouches. The way the grenade works is quite easy. It's an impact grenade, so I just pull the pin, I let it go, and then it's loud. Now here on the right side, or more in the back, I do have a universal pouch where I have completely random stuff in there. If they allow smoke grenades on the field, I always have 2 Enola Gays in there, or maybe I have a tissue to wipe off my glasses, or food, whatever it is that I can't fit into all the other pouches. It's always here in the back on the universal pouch. Last but not least are the shoes that I'm using. Very important because they protect you from, you know, twisting your ankles. Then they give you a nice grip when you crawl uphill at some moist forest. Those are made by Handbag. They are super expensive because they're made in Germany and they are of very decent quality. The reason why I changed from the Salomon boots to those boots is because when I did the sniper training, we did very long marches up to, 50, 60 kilometers. And there you just want to have a nice pair of boots, because if your feet will get sore, it's over. Like, you can't fight anymore, you can't walk anymore, you can't do shit if your feet are hurting. That's why I'm using those here. All right, that's it. That's the gear update. As you see, small things changed, but those small things are important in my opinion. Let me know what you like about the gear. What do you think that I could do better? What's missing? I'm always open for input, even though I think that is pretty much the most effective gear for the role of the active airsoft sniper. All right, can't wait to use it for the next game, because right now I think it is pretty much perfect, except for this pouch right here and the Velcro of those. See you guys next Thursday.